Cleopatra is one of history's most fascinating figures, a woman of immense power and intelligence who ruled ancient Egypt with grace and cunning. But behind the legend, there's a love story that's equal parts drama, romance, and tragedy, and that's what we're going to explore today. As a female ruler in a male-dominated world, Cleopatra faced challenges that would have broken a lesser person. She had to navigate the complex web of alliances and rivalries between Egypt, Rome, and other powerful states, all while maintaining her grip on power and her dignity. And as if that weren't enough, she had to make romantic choices that would have far-reaching consequences for her kingdom and her legacy. The stakes were incredibly high, and every decision Cleopatra made was scrutinized by her enemies and allies alike. One misstep, and her kingdom could be plunged into chaos and civil war. But Cleopatra was no ordinary woman. She was a master strategist, a skilled politician, and a passionate lover. She knew that her relationships with powerful men could be a key to her survival, and she wasn't afraid to use her charms to get what she wanted. But as we'll see, Cleopatra's romantic choices weren't just about politics, they were personal, emotional, and deeply human. She fell in love with two of the most powerful men of her time, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and her relationships with them would change the course of history. Julius Caesar was the first of Cleopatra's great loves, a Roman general and statesman who had conquered much of the known world. He was older, wiser, and more experienced than Cleopatra, but he was also drawn to her intelligence, her passion, and her fierce independence. The two formed a bond that was both personal and political, and for a while, it seemed like they might just change the world together. But Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE threw Cleopatra's world into chaos. She was devastated by his death, and she knew that she had to find a new ally and a new love if she was to survive. That's when she met Mark Antony, a Roman general and one of Caesar's most loyal followers. Antony was younger, more impulsive, and more passionate than Caesar, and he was drawn to Cleopatra's beauty, her intelligence, and her power. The relationship between Cleopatra and Mark Antony was intense, passionate, and all-consuming. They were two powerful people who had everything to gain and everything to lose from their love for each other. They knew that their relationship was forbidden, that it would be seen as a threat to the Roman Empire and to the stability of the ancient world. But they couldn't help themselves, they were drawn to each other like magnets, and they were willing to risk everything for their love. The pivotal moment came in 31 BCE, when Mark Antony and Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, clashed in a civil war that would decide the fate of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra knew that her love for Mark Antony would be seen as a liability, that it would be used against him by his enemies. But she couldn't betray him, not even to save her own skin. So she stood by him, even when it seemed like the whole world was against them. The outcome of that civil war was disastrous for Cleopatra and Mark Antony. They were defeated, and they knew that their time was running out. In the end, it was their love that proved to be their downfall. They were too proud, too passionate, and too committed to each other to surrender. And in the end, it was their love that killed them, in a dramatic and tragic finale that would be remembered for centuries to come. So what can we learn from Cleopatra's love story? We can learn that even the most powerful people in the world are driven by their emotions, their passions, and their desires. We can learn that love can be a source of strength, of inspiration, and of courage, but it can also be a source of weakness, of vulnerability, and of destruction. And we can learn that, no matter how powerful we are, we're all human, and we're all vulnerable to the forces of love and desire. What do you think about Cleopatra's relationships? Do you think she was a romantic at heart, or was she just using her lovers to get what she wanted? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to check out another video about ancient history. It's a fascinating topic that's full of surprises.